the weekend, an interesting thing happened. My friend's son bought a car. He's a teenager. He just got his license. He got his own car. He was very proud of it. He was driving it back and forth, and it broke down over the weekend. So I saw him and I asked him, well, what was the matter? He said that the car was overheating, and what he would normally do is to simply fill up the radiator, because for some reason or the other, the level of the liquid in the radiator would go down. So as he takes a journey, he would just top up the radiator. And then he said something that was very interesting. He said, I know this is kind of silly, but I was just hoping that the problem would go away. I'll just put the liquid in and, half hoping that the problem would go away. But the problem didn't go away. The problem actually got worse. It broke down when he was on his way to pick up some other friends so that they could go down to London. Now, the reason why I'm telling you this, because this kind of attitude that things would solve themselves, would resolve themselves, would eventually fix itself, and it would go away, is a mentality that many of us have. And sometimes it's also translated into our relationship. Some people have marital problems. They know there are issues. They know that things are not going right, and they ignore. They bury their heads. They do things that makes it look like there is some kind of improvement, but they ignore the real deep issues, the issues that need to be attended to, because it's uncomfortable and it might be expensive. Like our friend's son, he didn't really want to get the inconvenience of taking it to the garage, having another bill on his hand, because now he's actually counting the amount of money that he has to expend. He felt that, just topping it up will sort it out. But it landed a greater problem, which he had to get recovery. He had to pay for the recovery to bring it home. Fortunately, his dad sorted it out, and now he has to take it to the garage, to the mechanics, and heaven knows what he's going to have to spend. Similarly, if you have an issue with your relationship, and if the issue is recurring, ignoring it, putting a band-aid on it, trying to fix it. I always like this quote I heard this lady give, that not every disease can be fixed with home remedies. You need to get help. I know that you think that you can sort it. I know that you are clever and intelligent and educated and successful, but many times you need help with things that you're not an expert in. The problem is, and I like to repeat this quote from Alain de Botton, he says, the error is to suppose that we are born to naturally deal with relationship and that it is easy to manage relationship. But he says, love is a skill to be learned and not a feeling to be felt. And so there is a concept in many relationships, particularly amongst men, that they don't need to pay someone to tell them what to do. They already know what to do. And it's just an extra expense. Maybe they could chat GP it, Google it, maybe they could read a book. And in fact, I have a couple, and that's what the man said. He doesn't. But the problem is, it didn't work and hasn't worked. And his relationship is getting worse. So if you have a problem, and if you are sitting on what I call a ticking time bomb, because ultimately one of you would decide in his or her mind that I've had enough, I've tried enough, I've done enough, I have made enough effort, and they would check out. And sometimes that checking out is not even heard or seen. They simply go silent under the radar. And maybe you think, yes, the problem is solved. No, the problem isn't solved. It is a ticking time bomb. One day they would walk out. One day they may explode. One day the mess is going to hit the fan. So what am I suggesting? I'm suggesting that you get help. Nip the problem in the bud. Reach outside of yourself. Get a relationship counselor. Get a coach like myself. Get someone who is an expert in unraveling the dicey knots that you yourself haven't been able to fix. So why not just click the link in the description or the bio and let us talk. Let me see if I can help you. Save the relationship while you can. Don't wait till it's too late. In fact, every day that you wait, it becomes progressively worse. It's almost like a cavity in the teeth. Many times we ignore it, but little by little, that cavity would become worse until one day you wake up with screaming toothache and have to get an emergency dental appointment, which is usually much more expensive. So what are you going to do? I would suggest to you that you get some help today. Talk soon.